Good, Ryan?
Yep. We
Wonderful.
should be setting up the meeting for YouTube Live now.
Got it? Good to go, Ryan?
Yep.
Good evening and greetings from the Office of Research and Creative Activity. Welcome to the 2020 Sponsored Programs Virtual Reception. This annual event honors Western Kentucky University, WKU faculty and staff for their efforts and abilities to garner external proposals and awards during the fiscal year FY20. We are happy that you are able to join the reception with us this evening. We are extra delighted to have President Tim Caboni join with us. I now invite Dr. Caboni to give his opening remarks. President Caboni.
Well, thank you all for having me, and thank you for an opportunity to celebrate our amazing faculty and staff. I know the significant amount of time that you devote to seeking external funding for research, creative activities, public service, and instruction. It's an important part of who we are as a university. It contributes to our standing and as our focus on being student-centered. But in particular, it creates opportunities for those young people who join us and are interested in inquiry to have special relationships and special experiences alongside their faculty. Because of your hard work and your pursuit of the creation of knowledge, we are distinguished in the state. You have all heard me talk about research being vital to who we are as a university. And most importantly, not just basic research, but also applied research, which is a differentiator for us. It truly sets us apart in the Commonwealth. I like to talk about, from our FFA colleagues in agriculture, the great work we do with our undergraduates around learning to do and doing to learn. And engaging in inquiry is an important way of them understanding the relationship between asking and answering questions and the real world that for most of whom awaits them on the other side of a WKU degree. Also, it's vital to our role as an institution in the state and in our region. It has implications for our economy, implications for South Central Kentucky, and for attracting commerce and businesses to the area. Our research work is important. It's a great example of how we apply technology to challenges and how we transform lives as an institution. I think it's a remarkable position for us in the state and the region. So first, let me say thank you for all the faculty who are joining us today and their staffs and everyone who's working hard to seek external funding. It's a remarkably important thing that we do, not just for dollars, but for the inquiry that it creates and the questions that funding helps support and answer. Number two, I want to thank the Office of Sponsored Programs and our Grants and Contract Accounting Office. I've had the great privilege of being co-PI on a $10 million federally funded grant. I know the intense, difficult, challenging work it takes to assemble that proposal at the pre-award stage. And I also know the intricacies and challenges during post-award, making sure that folks get paid. And so, and we're able to actually do the research we've been selected to do. So thanks for everybody who makes that possible for our researchers to do their jobs. The work supports not just the budget model, our strategic plan, but also make sure that our students are engaged in inquiry too, which I think sets them up nicely for their careers, whether it be a faculty career, a research career, or just a career that uses those skills and builds upon them. The last thing I want to say is I appreciate the strong collaboration that exists between and among the Office of Research and Creative Activity, our Academic Affairs and Division, and the Division of Strategy, Operations, and Finance. As we continue to work toward a true innovation campus, and we think about what that looks like going forward, I've been buoyed by the great collaboration across those three areas. And there are going to be lots of interesting ideas to come, and I appreciate the work happening there too. So to all of those who are joining us today, congratulations. on your individual successes and your collaborative work to advance WKU's growth in research and our sponsored research portfolio. And I would be remiss if I didn't say this in the midst of a pandemic. No matter what you have going on in your research life, no matter the grading and papers that you have due, I encourage each of us to pause as we approach the end of the semester and truly take time for yourself during the winter break. We've had a fall semester unlike any other we've ever had on the Hill, and our entire community has done things above and beyond the call of duty. Now it's time to hopefully reward yourself, take a break, unplug, and come back refreshed and recharged for the spring semester. Professor Koudali, thank you so much for having me. Good to be here.
Thank you, President Caboni, for your inspiring words. And thank you very much for taking your time and to join with us in the midst of your hectic schedule. Equally passionate about research is Dr. Cheryl Stevens. And hence, I would like Provost Stevens to share a few words with us this evening. Dr. Stevens?
Thank you, Koudali. I always have to laugh at these things because I go behind President Caboni, who's already said everything that I was going to say, so only much more eloquently, I'm sure. But let me just say, it's my pleasure to be able to participate in this annual event. We've been doing this for many years, and I think it's something that we look forward to every year. It's particularly important this year to acknowledge the research and the research awards of so many faculty during this unusual year. Many things have happened that have led us to think about our priorities. And in many cases, teaching courses and new modalities has consumed huge amounts of time. But I want to acknowledge that research has continued on our campus, albeit a little more slowly this year than maybe in past years. As it should, even in challenging times, it's who we are as a regional comprehensive university. We're committed to supporting faculty research, and we're committed to supporting research development. I know that Dr. Koudali is considering how we've provided that support in the past and new ways as we look toward the future. Research remains important at WKU for faculty growth and development, for developing partnerships and collaborations with other universities and local regional companies, for students who get the opportunity to work with faculty on a research project. To me, that's the ultimate engaged experience, the one that students will remember their entire lives, and the relationships that they develop in those research labs are just life-changing. So congratulations to all of you who have put forth the effort and achieved the accomplishments that we're going to acknowledge today. We recognize that there's a lot of hard work and a commitment that's necessary to achieve as you have, and I'm really proud of your accomplishments as well. Finally, I wish you, because we're in December and we're really looking forward to next week, a smooth completion to this semester and a safe and rejuvenating semester break. So now I will return the podium, so to speak, to Dr. Koudali.
Provost Stevens, thank you very much for your opening remarks as well, and for taking your time and joining with us in spite of your busy schedule. Garnering an external award requires a team that includes faculty, staff, and administrative leaders working commonly and collectively towards a shared goal and helping faculty in the pursuit of their research and creative scholarship. The Office of Research and Creative Activity is dedicated to this lofty goal and strives to provide exceptional support to faculty and staff at WKU. It has truly been a privilege and honor knowing many of you and working closely with you over the past few months. The ARCA staff especially deserve my appreciation. It is in keeping with this spirit that we are hosting this reception slightly differently. The ARCA staff will be announcing the awards along with me. There are broadly 5 categories, and the first category is the first-time awardee. This award honors principal investigators or PIs who received their first award at WKU during FY20. I now ask Ashley Edwards, Grants Coordinator and our newest addition to our team, to announce 4 of the first-time awardees. We will not have any applause until the very end, and so I turn over the podium, if you will, to Ms. Ashley Edwards.
Thank you. The first awardee we have today is Dr. Austin Griffiths, Assistant Professor in the Department of Social Work and Director of the Center for Child Welfare Education and Research, which is Kentucky's first Center for Child Welfare. Dr. Griffiths received funding from the Kentucky Cabinet for Health and Family Services. The second awardee is Dr. Philip Gunter, Assistant Professor of Animal Science and a Certified Professional Animal Scientist. Dr. Gunter received funding from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The next awardee in this category is Dr. Gretchen Macy, Associate Professor of Public Health and an affiliate member of the Center for Applied Science in Health and Aging. Dr. Macy received funding from the CDC through the University of Louisville Research Foundation. The fourth awardee is Dr. Ozkan Azur, Assistant Professor of Mathematics. Dr. Oz received funding from the Kentucky NSF EPSCoR for developing a novel computational toolbox.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ashley, very much. We have 4 more awardees in the category of first-time awardee, and the next set of 4 awards will be announced by Mr. LaTravis Robinson, or Trey, who is a compliance associate and who joined our team earlier in February of this year. Trey?
Our 5th awardee is Dr. Jay Stotman, Assistant Director, Kentucky Archaeological Survey, who received funding for a variety of fee-for-service agreements. Dr. Stotman specializes in historical archaeology with an interest in studying urban neighborhoods, plantation outbuildings, and farmstead landscapes. Our next awardee is Dr. Dan Strunk, Assistant Professor of Agronomy. Dr. Strunk received funding from Arcadia Biosciences, Inc. for a project related to Arcadia hemp. The next awardee is Dr. Brian Weiler, Assistant Professor in Communication Science and Disorders, who received funding for a project related to screening the language skills of kindergarten children from the Kentucky Biomedical Research Infrastructure Network. Our 8th awardee in this category is Aaron Wichman, Associate Professor of Psychological Sciences, who received funding from the Center for Open Science, a Department of Defense initiative for a project titled, Does Being Filmed After Perception of How Substantial One's Actions Are?
Well, thank you, Trey, very much. Congratulations to these 8 first-time awardees that are listed in this PowerPoint slide. We now move to the second category of prolific proposer. This category recognizes individuals who have submitted 4 or more proposals during FY20, either as a principal investigator, PI, or as a co-principal investigator, PI. I asked Ms. Robin Pauls, our compliance coordinator, to announce the first 3 of the awardees in this category.
I think you're muted. It's only been 10 months.
Excuse me. I'm very sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. So our first awardee in this category is Mr. David Brinkley, Director of Educational Telecommunications and WKU Public Broadcasting. Mr. Brinkley submitted 4 proposals in FY20. Our second awardee in this category is Dr. Vladimir Dobrokhotov, Professor of Physics and Director of the Applied Physics Institute. Dr. Dobrokhotov, who submitted a record 11 proposals in FY20. The third awardee in this category is Dr. Ollie Ayer, Assistant Professor of Physics, who submitted 5 proposals in FY20. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. The next 3 awards in the category of prolific proposer will be announced by Ms. Ryan Gregory, who serves as Administrative Assistant for the Office of Research. Ryan?
For our fourth awardee in this category for prolific proposer is Dr. Michael Galloway, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, who submitted 6 proposals in FY20. Our next awardee in this category is Dr. Kirlos Halim, Assistant Professor for Civil Engineering, who submitted 4 proposals in FY20. And our 6th awardee in this category is Dr. Mary Lloyd Moore, Executive Director of the Suzanne Vitale Clinical Education Complex, who submitted 5 proposals in FY20.
Thank you, Ryan. We still have 4 more faculty and staff in the category of prolific proposers. And the next final 4 awards in this category will be announced by Ms. Hillary Green, Senior Grants Coordinator. Hillary?
Thank you, Dr. Kudali. Our 7th awardee in this category is Dr. Ivan Novikov, Associate Professor of Physics and Director of the ARTP Non-Destructive Analysis Center, who submitted 5 proposals in FY20. Our next awardee in this category is Dr. Shane Palmquist, Associate Professor of Civil Engineering and Director of the Engineering Center for Innovation, who kept us busy submitting 8 proposals and fee-for-service agreements in FY20. Our 9th awardee is Dr. Dave Pollock, Director of the Kentucky Archaeological Survey, who submitted 8 proposals and fee-for-service agreements in this fiscal year. And our final and 10th awardee in the prolific proposer category is Mr. Chris Watkins, Executive Director of the Training and Technical Assistance Services. He submitted 6 proposals in FY20.
Thank you, Hillary, very much. So we've had 10 faculty and staff who submitted 4 or more proposals in the fiscal year 2020, and these are listed in this PowerPoint slide. We now move to the 3rd category, the $1 Million Club category, and this category recognizes principal investigators or PIs who have reached $1 million in awards cumulatively during their tenure here at WKU, but during the year FY20. I now kindly ask Ms. Regina Allen, Assistant Director, Office of Sponsored Programs, to announce the 2 awardees in this category. Regina, you're muted.
Too much Zoom, I'm so sorry. Our first awardee is Dr. Mark Doggett, Professor of Manufacturing and the Programs Coordinator. Dr. Doggett's funding has been received primarily from the Department of Commerce's National Institute of Standards and Technology for the Advanced Kentucky Alliance Grant. Our second awardee is Dr. Laura McGee, Professor of Modern Languages. Dr. McGee's funding has been received from a variety of federal and non-federal sponsors, and Dr. McGee is the principal investigator of the Chinese flagship program at WKU.
Well, thank you, Regina, very much. So we have 2 faculty, Dr. Mark Doge and Dr. Laura McGee, who have reached $1 million in awards during the fiscal year 2020. Our next 2 categories honors academic departments. One of the award is for the largest percentage of faculty awardees, and the second in this category is the largest percentage of proposing faculty in FY20. I kindly ask Ms. Katie Muchmore, Senior Grants Coordinator in the Office of Sponsored Programs, to announce these two awards.
First, the chemistry department is collectively recognized and honored for being very successful in obtaining external grant awards. Over 36% of chemistry faculty received an award in FY20. The next award honors the physics and astronomy department faculty who were prolific in submitting proposals. Nearly 50% of physics and astronomy faculty submitted proposals in FY20.
Well, thank you, Katie, very much, and congratulations again to the Department of Chemistry and the Department of Physics and Astronomy. We now move to the final category called the Associate Provost for Research and Graduate Education's Innovation and Impact Award. It is truly a privilege and honor for me to announce the Innovation and Impact Award. The recipient of this award for 2020 is an institution, the Kentucky Museum. The Kentucky Museum has demonstrated their creativity in providing enriching cultural and educational experiences despite the challenges surrounding the pandemic. The team, ably led by Mr. Brent Borkman and consisting of Dr. Christy Spurlock, Professor Sandy Stable, Ms. Mary Lynn Claycomb, Mr. Joel Chapman, Ms. Amy Coleman, Eleanor Davidson, Lynn Ferguson, Tiffany Eisel-Hart, Jackson Medal, and student docents have provided exceptional experiential learning opportunities to WKU constituents and the Bowling Green community through their sheer imagination and creativity. They have truly lived up to the original mandate of Kentuckians to know Kentucky. Again, congratulations to the Kentucky Museum for receiving the Innovation and Impact Award. The past several months have been unprecedented and challenging. However, faculty and staff at WKU have demonstrated that nothing would deter them from their passion for research and creative scholarship, namely generating new knowledge and also transforming lives by providing services to the community. We want to congratulate faculty and staff for external awards and proposal submissions. The awardees today exemplify the best among us. We are truly humbled and honored by their commitment towards the research and creative scholarship mission of WKU. This evening's reception is a salute to their ingenuity and talent despite the challenging times. It takes a team to help in the submission of an external proposal. This includes help from students, collaborators, staff, and administrators. We want to give a very special thanks to department and college and administrative staff whose invaluable efforts have contributed to the success of all sponsored projects at WKU. We are equally thankful to the grants and contracting accounting staff that include Ms. Paula Madison, Ms. Jessica Clemens, and Ms. Alicia Haley. We work very closely with the GCA team, as the president had alluded to previously, and we are able to help faculty after they have garnered an external award. Hosting an event, albeit 30 minutes or less, but an event of this magnitude requires the creativity, talent, and ideas of several individuals. I'm thankful to Ms. Robin Piles, Mr. LaTravis Robinson, Ms. Emily Wallace, who was unable to join with us today, and especially Ms. Ashley Edwards, Ms. Katie Muchmore, Ms. Regina Allen, and Ms. Hillary Green. I owe a special thanks to Ms. Ryan Gregory for all her help in organizing this event successfully. I would also like to acknowledge the services of Ms. Marilyn Anderson, who retired earlier this year after 23 years of exceptional service to WKU. The success of faculty and staff at WKU and today's reception is in large part to the dedication and hard work of ARCA staff. It has truly been a blessing working with such talented and dedicated team members and driving the research and creative scholarship mission at WKU. Thank you for joining with us and in celebrating the success of faculty and staff. As a public affairs person, President Caboni, I have kept it short and sweet. I followed the KISS philosophy, if you will. And we thank you and Provost Stevens for joining with us and in celebrating the successes of our faculty and staff. We wish you all a wonderful holidays. And as President Caboni said, we hope that you will take some time, some self-care time, and come recharge for the spring semester of 2021. Have a wonderful rest of the evening and happy holidays to all of you from the Office of Research. Bye-bye.